Well, hello. How are you? So we're gonna go through the step two of the oral presentation. That it's called the negotiation. Well, we are the group 8, and the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna comment and argue about the different information we find, and then we're gonna talk about possible solutions to the case. Do you have anything to add?
Yes, well, I managed to found a lot of information. First of all, I found that landfills release methane gas, and that gas has 8 times more warming power than carbon dioxide. And over the first 20 years, after basically it reaches the atmosphere, so at least 25% of today's global warming is driven by methane that is caused by human actions, meaning landfills. And the creation of landfills typically means the destruction of natural habitats, and it produces a substance called leachate, something like that, that basically is a liquid that is produced with all the garbage that is in there and basically contaminates the nearby water sources. One of the effects of this contamination is basically when it comes to a short-term exposure, typically about 2 weeks, with elevated levels of ammonia and hydrogen sulfate in the air. It might result in health complaints such as eye pains, throat, lung irritation, nausea, headache, nasal blockage, sleeping difficulties, weight loss, chest pain, and the aggravation of asthma. And there are many other chemicals that are basically there in landfills. And another thing that I found is that Rio Macho is a forest reserve and is one of the biggest biological reserves in the country. And this reserve basically put a stop to rapid deforestation that was happening in Costa Rica. And it protects endangered species, and it's essential. It's an essential part of Costa Rica's cultural heritage. That's the information that I managed to find.
Love it. I want to add that I don't know if you heard about it or you read about it, but do you know that Rio Macho Forest Reserve is the first protected wild area, like that was uh, like named like that by the Costa Rican state in 1964. So as we can see, well, first of all, it's the first one that's pretty cool. And then the second thing is that it's really important for us, um, because I don't know if you knew about this, but the electricity service that like Rio Macho, or the water that comes from Rio Macho, it's the one that we use to generate electricity. Um, so it's really really important, this water and this river in general terms, for us, because it's what uh, help us have all of this, right? And then have electricity that it's first good for the planet, and then it's really good for us, right? Because it's green electricity. It's not electricity that it's created by burning gases or petroleum or something like that, chemicals in general. And well, as I was telling you, it's Ethan. It's the one who is in charge of these hydroelectric um, experience we have. Um, and basically, we could uh, have done this project because we asked for the international bank for the money to being able to build this. So it's pretty cool. Um, Something else is that it not only, of course, it's not the biggest source of water of the hydroelectric plant, but it's one of the most important. This hydroelectric plant has from River Pejivalle for River Reventazón. So yeah, I don't know if Anthony wants to add more information.
Yes, well, as Diego said before, I found that like some of the consequences are that this type of landfills create or generate methane gas and carbon dioxide, and it helps, well, it not helps, it produce or I don't know, yes, produce or collaborate to the raise of climate change. And another consequence is the biodiversity loss and the ecosystem pollution. And the main cause of these problems comes from homes in this community. Even though this is like a rural area, the problems come from the homes. Then I found, I found a study from Tecnológico de Cartago, where they find out that there is no municipal services. The community cannot use those municipal services to recollect the garbage. So that's a problem because they have to hire private services, and they don't know where is going on the garbage. Maybe that is another cause of these landfills in Paraíso. Then I also found that, well, some institutions that could help us to give a solution are MINAE, SINAC, Talamanca, Corredor Biológico Talamanca, and Ministry of Health. And I don't know.
So first of all, guys, can you hear me? Because there's a lot of rain out there.
Yes.
So first of all, I want to say that I have basically the same information about what refers to Rio Macho. Well, it's similar what compared with Ashley and they were saying, and Antonio too. So, but I based my research basically in information to find information that we can present to the major of the high school. So I found information about the effects that the solid waste management can have on people's health and also in the environment. And I found that it can it can produce a lot of infections in people. That could be bacterial or viral. It can affect our skin, our blood, even our eyes, and sometimes it produces chronic diseases that can be affects our respiratory systems, and also can produce cancer in some people. Another thing is it can produce accidents when people like, for example, bones and muscle disorders, and can affect wounds, and also poisonings and chemical burns on people. After that, about the environmental aspect, we have that it can it produce pollution in land, soil, and water. And it affects and contribute with climate change and affect wildlife. In general, this kind of pollution affects living beings. Then, also I focus on causes and consequences of these situations. So among the causes, I found that some of them are overpopulation, urbanization, technology, industrial waste, commercial establishment, residential houses, constructions, and demolitions. And one that was surprising for me is agriculture. But I think that is because of all the chemicals that people use to this activity. Then, about the consequences, I already mentioned it. It affects people's health, also living beings in general, and the environment. Well, and about the projects or institution that can help us with this problem, well, I found that Tech is one of the institution that is completely involved with this kind of problems, well, environmental problems in general. And also we have the Ministerio de Salud and also, well, the Paraísos municipality that can help us with that. But in general terms, I have like, we can create maybe education programs that can or maybe information campaigns to give people some tips about how about recycling process. So reduce composting and reducing maybe, but that's it.
Hey, Estefania, what do you think?
Well, you mentioned causes and a lot of consequences of this problem. And however, many people continue to pollute rivers and streets. And we think, why? And maybe we could say that they don't know about the problem, but that is not totally true for me, because I mean, every day we see advertisements on social media and on social networks, of course, about the environmental problems, and it's like environment here, environment there, so everybody know about this problem. And so I think that the real problem here is that people don't care about the environmental and health consequences that pollution causes. So, as you mentioned, a lot of consequences and causes. I just want to add like a solution, let's say. I don't know if it's a solution, but I think that we can make a plan, you know, with different steps, because this problem can be solved step by step. And so it would be something like the first step is to give information to people, you know, about the problem, the effects, and some solutions. And maybe through brochures and talks with the mayor and people from the Ministry of Health and other institutions. And this is to raise awareness about the problem and get people interested in it. Then the second step could be like implement activities such as Mary mentioned, recycle campaigns, putting up signs, and basically like guiding people to recycle, reduce, and reuse waste. It is something like promote people's participation. And the last step for me is just to monitor the progress of the plan, you know, to know if the plan is working or not, and also continue to the activities, informing and supporting people to face this problem and improve this situation. So I don't know, what do you think about it?
Well, the first step would be like, well, I was thinking about environmental educational programs or something like that. And then in the second step, they put into practice what they have been learning. I think so.
Yeah.
I completely agree. I think that the most important thing here is that people should get informed, because sometimes, let's say, for example, let's take the example of Diego. Diego lives in Cartago, and even though he lives there and everything, he's not that informed of what's happening in his neighborhood in general, or the town, right? And I think it's, yes, in part it's Diego's fault, of course, because he needs to read a little bit about the place he's living, right? But if the local help me with the word, the local, well, the municipality, right? If they see or they are being organized with the information the people around know, they will know that they don't know, right? They don't know the information, they don't know this is happening, and in some way they are or taking advantage of it because they are not doing anything about it, right? Or they're not saying like, okay, no, let's do this. Okay, let's inform people. Let's try to help the community to be greener. Let's try to make it better. So I think that they should start by informing, as Estefania was saying, I don't know, campaigns in the park or whatever. I don't know if someone else wants to say anything. So I
Yes,
think
I
that the
mean-
first step should be inform.
Yeah.
I love that you said that actually, because when I was doing some research about this, I found a lot of stuff that I didn't know. And I mean, it's interesting to know because the solution to this is not, we cannot just move the landfill. It is there because that was the right position at the time. The problem is the garbage it's basically ended up there. So the solution would be the people creating awareness campaigns, telling them what they can do to reduce solid waste for it not to get there and cause troubles. So yeah, that's a perfect way to solve this, I would say.
Uh-huh. I don't know if Antonio or maybe wants to add something else.
I just want to say that we also can focus in the fact of inform people about some action that they can take from their house. They can start there because little by little we can make a big change. So they can start like reducing the bottles and the bags and everything. Inform them about this kind of thing that they can do.
I think that reducing it's really important, but at the same time we should also teach how to recycle, because I think that's the main problem.
Yes, and I was thinking that it's not just for like most people think for children. I think these problems comes from adults. So this is like the population that we have to give these activities or these solutions.
Form, right? Teach about it. Mhm. Okay, so let's design the agenda for next meeting, for the next meeting. Okay.
When is the next meeting?
That's the first thing we should do. Well, it's due November 20th. So so let's see. I think that the day that all of us can meet, it's on Saturdays, right? So let's keep it like that. I don't know. Let's see. It's due November 20th, right? So
Could be the Saturday closer to that date, I think.
yes, that's the one I was about to tell you. What about Saturday 13th?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sounds good. for
Yes.
me. Yeah.
Yes, Diego. So at 6 today, right?
Yeah.
So okay. Okay, so but for next week, for next for the next meeting, we should set a solution. So I think that we should, all of us, write a possible solution, like with all the information we all find and just talked about. So find a solution by ourselves. And then I think that next meeting, we should expose that solution, and with all of them, well, probably all of them will have something similar, so we can construct or build our own solution. I don't know
The
what you
problem
think.
here is that I think in the next meeting, we have to present the solution, the final solution. That is what I think, but I'm not sure about it.
But okay, because it says solution, so
Those
we should
general
write it
ideas for
down,
the solution.
and reflection. See, holds a new session to summarize.
Yes, I think that is just to present the solution, and then that's the same.
Our experience too, we have
Yeah.
to share our experience about this project
Okay.
and everything. So it's the solution. We have to we have to go to that meeting with the solution.
Okay, okay. So what would be the solution? So let's make it together. So that's, well, I think that that's the solution. We already said it, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, we
Uh,
can put everything together and we'll like organize everything and then just present it.
creating awareness of in the community, right? And then I think that probably talk to the mayor about the situation and see how they could help us, and ask the possible let's say the
One thing that we have to keep in mind is that the solution has to be presented for a school. So basically, we will be teaching students how this can be solved. If I'm not remembering wrong, because I remember that this problem was presented. Let me go back to the case. Okay, it says that the principal summoned us
yes.
to evaluate the impact. So basically, we have to present how we would present this information to the major. Okay, yeah. No, yeah, we're doing great. Sorry.
well, I guess that the solution is creating awareness campaigns in the community and talk to the mayor about the way they can help us, right?
Yes, and explain the different consequences and the causes of this problem.
Okay. So I think that will be it. So I see you guys next Saturday, 13th.
Well, guys, see you. Bye.
See you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.